Hello viewers, I really don't feel like doing this. This is the most depressed I've been in weeks. The reason is my landlord attacked me last night and hit me on the head with a fucking cleaver. Thankfully he had enough sense to hit me with the blunt edge. You may notice the scars on my neck from his having gripped me in a fucking death-like vice for fucking 5 minutes, etc. As he screamed at me incoherently in Chinese. I had no idea what he's fucking pissed off about. It turns out he was mad that I was reaming his wife up, but he's the one who told me that women are women and they're stupid and don't listen to them. Anyway, each person's got his own perspective. There's two reasons really that, well, there's one real reason I didn't fucking floor him and start punching his head into the floor or that kind of stuff. Or, you know what I mean, like put him on the ground and start smashing his face with my fists. And it being a top floor, it would have been pretty fucking powerful in terms of the, impact, right? So, because the head hitting the floor, yeah, and my fist hitting his face essentially would be receiving full impact. But the reason that didn't happen, the primary reason, is the same reason that we say that God is self-evident, which is that I just didn't feel like doing that. I felt it wasn't the right thing to do. It turns out that he had one up on me in a sense of, you know what? Basically, well, we're here at City Hall, and that's what this post is going to be about, by the way, if you're interested. If you're not, you can doodle off. This fellow used to be the mayor of City Hall. I don't know whether to be proud or whether to be sad or whether to even give a hoot. These guys are Canadian Nobel laureates. Those are the, what are they? Hey, do you know who these guys are? Yeah, they're the Queen's nice little girl there studying. What are you studying? Do you mind if I ask? Oh, you don't want me filming you?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Don't be sorry. You're so fucking gorgeous. Why wouldn't you want people filming you? How are you going to get famous like that? Anyway, we're here at City Hall, and I'm just waiting for the library to open. And so the landlord basically got mad because, you see, I was treating his wife disrespectfully, but I treat fucking everyone disrespectfully, especially someone who's thrown me out onto the street and stealing money off me and all this kind of shite, right? Well, I said fuck one too many times to her or something. Like, that really set them off for some reason. Actually, him being there was the thing. So I'm standing there having a heated discussion with her, and this bitch comes down the stairs and she's like, why are you with it? I looked at her and I'm like, listen, are you trying to escalate or de-escalate this situation? I was like, if you really were trying to figure things out and how to make a peaceful reconciliation of the matter instead of a total head over heels fuck up like you women are prone to creating most of the time. And by the way, I'm not being racist or sexist or whatever it is you want to put on there. Fucking women, that's all they want. They want goddamn drama. They're never fucking happy, ever. They can't be. It's impossible. They don't understand what that concept means. And the thing that makes them happy is drama and unhappiness and shit like that. It's weird. It's weird how God made that work that way. Anyway, I'm going to take you outside. That's really what you need to see. The architecture of this building is demonstrated pretty exactly in this fucking photograph. I mean, how could it be anything but exact proportions and whatnot, right? I wonder. But, you see, the thing is this, viewers. Let this be a note of record. I let the landlord pound into me, okay? My fucking roommate, bitch, fat Grenadian lady, stuck her head out at one point and started screaming at me. She later called the cops. And here's the thing, fucking landlord, he saw that it wasn't affecting me. I was pretending to scream and all this shite like I was in pain and all this nonsense so he'd stop. But he could tell. He's like, are you egging me on? I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? I wasn't. But he got onto the fact that I wasn't. Do you guys know where the pictures are being taken? And if I'm invading your privacy rights by filming you when you're out here in public, just let me know about that, please.
Are you asking us?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, pictures are here.
What pictures are they? Because people have been coming by talking about that stuff, and me and my viewers are curious, yes.
It's just security.
Oh, you guys are all City Hall employees. See, this is why we love Canada, folks, just because of ladies like this. Thank you very much. So, going back to the landlord, right? The guy's losing his mind. And I don't know what to say to placate him because half of the gibberish coming out of his mouth is incoherent to me. He scratches me in the neck, has me up against the wall, and then he fucking pulls this cleaver. It's a goddamn cleaver. He pulls it out of the wow, look at that. A good dad. Good on you, man. Fucking A right, man. I take them and I fly them around the place with airplane noises and shit later on, like 3 or 4 years old. You're a lucky kid. You better fucking grow up and appreciate that shit. Okay, so, yeah, so I'm usually making the usual nonsense, you know, fucking, what is it? Like, people think I'm trying to create trouble and shit. This is who I am, I realize. This is who I fucking am. I'd like to be quiet. I was the most quietest baby in the world. Let's check this shit out. You come outside, it's a different world. It's a different fucking world. You cannot go from indoors to outdoors or vice versa and not feel completely different. Yeah? I've done this before. You might have seen the video with the skaters at City Hall. But, you know, it's just gorgeous. Change of scene can do so much. In fact, I really subscribe to the philosophy of out of sight, out of mind. It really is the case. And if you're still thinking about it and it's not in sight, you're fucking anal. And you're filled with love of the world, if you want to put it that way. Love of the world. It's a lovely fucking world. But love of the world, and I see the topic is finally going to come around to one of my fucking favorites that I've never really blogged or talked about in depth. And you're looking at a 45 fucking minute like goddamn clip here, viewers. So buckle in, sit down, shut up and listen. Take fucking notes, comment me, and send this shit on to your friends and family who you want to save from a life of fucking misery, alright? Love of the world is the root of all evil, says Imam Sadiq, peace be upon him. What does it mean? It doesn't mean we should hate trees or people or animals or natural phenomena and any of that kind of nonsense. What it means is those things that take us away from our humanity. That's really the best way I can describe it. It's like, it's very hard to describe actually. It's like trying to possess the world or being afraid of it. Those are really the two key things. Being afraid of it in the sense of, see, being afraid of it is also love of the world. The reason you're afraid is because you're afraid of an outcome which in your mind causes you to lose some of the world, or that something that you have you're going to lose, right? In case of greed, it's pretty obvious, but it's exactly the same thing as fear. It's just backwards. With greed, like you're wanting stuff, right? So love of the world is the root of all evil. I'm not even going to try and explain it. See, that's the problem people have. The trap I just fell into is called Yahudu ma'al kha'idin, says the Quran. To wade with those who wade. When you wade, you're like in the pool and you're walking around going in circles forever without understanding that you're meant to build a boat, right? That's wading. I'm not going to question what it means in a sense of trying to go into the semantics of it. What I'm going to do is rather talk about the emotional resonance that this phrase creates in me, that kind of thing. So a big question I have for fucking atheist assholes like Richard Dawkins and not the nice ones like Sam Harris and maybe even Dan Dennett, I don't know, I haven't decided yet. And certainly Chris Hutchinson, he seems like an alright chap. He does. I just read fucking 2-3 pages of his book. It cleared him in my mind. I don't give a fuck if he's an atheist. He's going to end up in heaven. I don't care what he calls himself. I don't give a fuck. Dawkins, on the other hand, has the mentality of a 12-year-old, at best. Like a kind of semi, you know, I was going to say retarded, but it's more like he has the mentality of a 12-year-old is just one way of putting it. It's basically saying he's weak-minded, unfortunately, which kids are not, in fact, but he's really fucking immature, intellectually even. See, let me give you an example. He tweets shit like, oh, this argument and that argument. So what these fuckers do, they're waiting in their pools, right? And they're so happy about they're happy about their apparent, like it's, I'm looking for words, but it's such nonsense that I don't even want to fucking think about it. But what it is like, people pride themselves on fucking anything. Imam Khomeini, the mercy of Allah be upon him, said that even an ant is proud of its antennae. What a fucking great statement. Of course you know an ant's not proud of its antennae, or rather, how the fuck should we know what's going on in its little brain? But it's a very powerful symbolic thing. It attracts you right away just because it's such a weird and wondrous statement. But you realize very quickly what it means. In the big picture, let me tell you about this fucking universe of ours. 80% of it is there's no stars or nothing there. It's blackness for fucking millions of light years around. It's stuff, 80% of it is like gray fucking matter. There's forces at work that you couldn't even conceive of. I mean, scientists measuring this shit are like, their jaws hit the floor every like fucking 18 months or so when those paradigms break that nobody talks about. I mean, it's probably happening more than that. It's happening. There's so much fucking going on now. Like, that's why a guy like me ends up like this. Because there's 70 Imam, peace be upon him, said that in everything that you look at, there's a lesson for you. As well as, obviously, everything that you think about. If you actually think about it, there's a difference between thinking and what I call, like, being thought, in a sense. Your ego fucking uses you, and your ego's running adrift, or running amok with all kinds of negative, hateful, degenerate, fucking bullshit thoughts and thinking. And you're not honorable enough as a human to stop that shit and cut it in its roots. You think as long as you talk nicely to people and all this kind of bullshit, as long as you don't steal stuff, you're all right. That's fucked. Rather steal stuff, but be honest to yourself doing it. Yeah, steal stuff, but be honest to yourself doing it. If you think that stealing's all right, and you got to feed your family and all that kind of shit, the only problem with it, I'll just tell you what the problem with that thinking is. It breaks the cardinal law of universality. You know, I'm kind of doing what I'm accusing Dawkins of doing, but in a different way. This is not a logical premise. This is a moral premise presented by a gentleman by the name of either Hume or this other guy, Kant, Immanuel Kant or David Hume. Law of universality, I call it that, is that in order to judge the appropriateness of any principle, a moral principle, you need only apply it to the masses at large. Therefore, for instance, to elaborate, if a liar thought to himself, wow, what if everybody was a fucking compulsive fibber as I am? Was a compulsive fibber as I am? Fib being a euphemism for lying through your fucking teeth at every opportunity, and also just because you're getting pleasure and not even for any benefit anymore. As according to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his family, there is a room with all evil things in it, and the key to the door of that room is lying. The Quran says that God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God the most glorified, the most high, and his angels curse liars. It's like backbiting. Quran says, why do you speak ill of your brother? Or why do you backbite? Would any one of you like to eat the dead flesh of his brother? That's a mouthful, isn't it? Alright, so if a thief thought to himself, you know, what if everyone stole? If a liar thought to himself, what if everyone lied? If a rude, obnoxious jerk thought the same thing to himself about his behavior and principles, and if people just woke up and started doing what they expect of other people, the world would be perfect overnight. That's what Imam Ali, peace be upon him, said. He said, it's enough for your guidance that you abstain from those things that you don't like in others. He didn't even talk about what you should do. That's the whole thing, right? That's the whole fucking thing is right there. So let's give you an example of that. And I don't care if I'm digressing. I got it all in my mind. It's filed away. And that's why these things go on for 49 minutes. And after the fact, I'm thinking, shit, I forgot to finish that chain of thought. Negation. La ilaha illallah. There is no God. That's how the Islamic slogan starts. What is it? I guess I call it slogan. No, you got company slogans, you got religious slogans. Christianity's slogan might simply be the word love, or love thy neighbor, or, you know, peace in the Lord, perhaps. I don't know. Islam's is la ilaha illallah. There is no Allah except Allah. You're like, what? Yeah, ilah means God, and Allah means God too, but just God pronoun. It's a word that's used by Christian and then Jewish Arabs. So we don't say God is most praised. We don't say glory be to God. That's not the slogan. We don't say that we're from God and to Him is the return. Rather, we start with the negation of that which is opposed to God. There is no God, illallah, except for Allah. In the same way, any field of human endeavor or any field of human activity basically has one area which is tantalizingly tempting and obviously fucked up versus the rest of the infinite number of alternatives on the spectrum of A to Z or 0 to infinity or whatever the fuck. Every spectrum is always infinite, even if it's a finite range. You know this, right? See, it's like this. God says don't eat pork. And people are like, why? I want to eat pork. He's like, don't look at porn. Oh no, I want to look at porn. Don't look at girls. Here, the thing is this. When you eat healthy and proper stuff, you will forget about all the bullshit. And you'll live a liberated, beautiful, clean and healthy fucking life. On the other hand, if you compare true love and not sex to anything else, including fucking getting your rocks sucked off while you're smoking rocks, there's no fucking comparison. There's no comparison, right? So true love is like just that feeling is heaven, right? That's why God's created it. Those chemicals and all this kind of nonsense. But moreover, that long-lasting commitment that forms when two people really understand that this is not as easy as it looked, and we got to hunker down and do the hard work. And then after those long, hard days and weeks and months where you've achieved a new house and a new car together and raised a kid and put him through school, that's the shit. That's love. Those things, results. Not sitting there in the park holding your hands all day with lollipops, right? You're not 12 years old. So there's a whole spectrum of things that we're able to do and think and accomplish in this world, an infinite number, out of which a finite number we've been told not to do. And those are the ones, of course, that are made to seem alluring, right? So go figure. I mean, if you can figure that one out and think about it, you'll realize that the good life is actually the great life. It really is. It really fucking is. There's no fucking substitute. And I know I'm saying a lot of fuckings, and I just fucking feel like it, so fucking deal with it. I'm sorry. If you don't like me saying fucking a lot, then stop thinking about that shit, and I'll stop saying it. I'm talking to the guy down there. That guy over there, I believe he's listening to me, and he's not aware that I'm tuned into his mind waves. And I can tell that his attention's on me. Now, I don't know how far my voice is carrying. People tell me I got a loud voice and all this kind of shit. It's just because I want to make sure I'm understood. And in fact, as per the law of opposites, it's the reason I'm vehemently misunderstood. You know, going back to fucking scars on my neck. So, City Hall is gorgeous. Toronto is gorgeous. I couldn't live anywhere else. Toronto's the only place I've ever missed. It's a marvelous fucking city. Like, you have no idea what's going to happen when you step off the curb there onto Bay Street or onto Richmond Street or onto Dundas Street or whatever's behind us over there. Spadina maybe? I don't know. I don't think it's Spadina. But I mean, like, around every corner lurks amazing sights and sounds, and the thing is, people get numb to that stuff too. It blows my mind. Every single day here, every single block, you'll see the weirdest and most wonderful people, things, buildings, sights, sounds, smells, and all this kind of shit, minus the guns. Minus the fucking drugs. Minus the loudmouth, obnoxious assholes like myself. Yeah, who pester fucking people who piss him off. Like this guy's beginning to. But he's not. Don't worry, sir. I'm just being stupid. So yeah, what were we talking about? I don't even know. I feel like I should get up and start walking about, and I really don't want to. But my fallen over bag is an indication to me that I should. See, according to Don Juan, look him up, Carlos Castaneda. I keep spitting that name out, and nobody gives a fuck about it. Castaneda. 10 fucking books. Guy was a New Age guru, and nobody even knows him. I don't understand how I stumbled on him. I mean, I thank God for those things, and therefore God multiplies them for me, right? That's all there is to it. And then I give everything away. Fucking everything I have, I give away, and I don't mind it either. People used to fault me on that shit, and now they're like, no, that's good. They realize the virtue of it, because see, the thing is, you need very little in order to survive. What do you have more than the clothes you're going to wear and the food you're going to eat? Everything in excess of what you need, you're actually holding for someone else. That's all it is. That's all it is. But you've got to pay, you've got to give account for that in the Day of Judgment if you believe in God. You see, the Christian concept of Day of Judgment is very different than Muslim. Christian is like, we're going to heaven and everyone else is burning, period. That's it. And in the Quran, and in the statements and sermons, for example, of Imam Ali about the Day of Judgment, he'd give a speech and people would be beating their chests and crying at the end of it about just the 50,000 years, godly years of just pure fucking immortal terror. Every atom of good and evil that you have done will be presented to you. The Quran says that evildoers will say, what kind of record is this? It hasn't left fucking anything out. And you'll have to explain it. If you believe in that kind of stuff. Like, so don't say you believe in God and you're like a rude, obnoxious twat like me, unless you've got an explanation for it. And my explanation in this case is that people are listening to what I say when I swear, and therefore I can throw in some nice nuggets while I'm at it. Now look at this thing, this line over here. One of these poor city employees, God bless their souls, has lost his fucking itinerary of the day or some shit, and he's going to be confused out of his ass until he prints it out again. I better hand it in at the front, although he's never ever going to go back there and look at it because he doesn't think like people like me exist. So anyway, I'm blabbing too much. I was talking about love of the world, okay? Basically, what is the world, quote unquote? The world is the non-material aspects of it. It's not to say you should love or hate animals or trees or cars or people or anything. It's the psychological aspects of it. So for instance, the real root of it is this. You shouldn't worry about shit. That's basically what it boils down to. Like, how are you feeling? Who cares? It's all good. That's the way God has given you to feel today. That's what it is. And it's something that's so profound. It's taken me years to even begin to scratch the surface of it. I realized I don't have any words for you. I was going to make a 49-minute movie about that stuff, and all I'm going to do now is show you this amazing, what is it? It's I wish I had Zoom on this damn thing. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's the best phone in the world, obviously. Goddamn Android thinks they're so cool. They can't even type out like 50 words a minute on that stupid keyboard, which is the only thing that matters. This is Toronto, folks. It is Toronto, ditto, down to the last block. I think they actually update this shit as the city grows. I could be wrong, though. I could ask, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, like, here's the thing. Now, look at this shit and compare this shit with the city you live in. And tell me you don't want to visit. Each of those little green spots down there, and I've been to many of them, and you can't even see them. If you see the aerial of the city, it's like literally connected by a gridwork of fucking trails, going from like up north 20, 30 kilometers away from like North York and Brampton and Scarborough, all the way down to the lake. All the way down to the fucking lake. I wish I could show you guys, but if you're really interested, just Google map it. It's not such a big deal. Like, for instance, look at this stuff over here. I don't know how big that looks, but it's fucking huge. And you know, you're living in this place, or even if you're living over there, you jump on the bus or you walk, and then you're out in nature. Like, I go for a hike every day practically. Every day. And after half an hour, it's like you're in the mountains. You forget about everything. Anyway, I went in here to get the reason I'm at City Hall is because I need to start fucking working. I got so-called steel-toed boots on. I hope they pass. And my whole thing is, what kind of answer can I give them which is not a lie, which lets me get away with not having steel-toed boots? I'm thinking of saying, yeah, they're metal supported, talking about the laces or something silly like that. I'm just hoping nobody bends over and fucking starts filling them up to make sure they don't have a plate or doing them. But yeah, I came over here to get my social insurance number printed out, and the kind lady behind the desk told me to basically shove off. This is what she said to me. She said, you need your citizenship card, without explaining to me that it takes 6 to 8 months to apply for that shit. I mean, I got one. I lost all that shit a long time ago. I just got my passport back recently. I gave that to her, and she rolled her eyes, obviously, and it was just nonsense. I said, listen, lady, your job isn't following the rules. Your job is helping people like me. And then I said, listen, God, be witness that this lady is going to appear in front of you on the day of judgment. I have nothing against any of this stuff. You decide what to do with her. One of your employees left this outside. I thought I would leave it here. Obviously, this lady is far more important than me, but that's okay. And we're both brown. Did you get that? Like, people of the same race treat each other the worst sometimes. I don't know how that works. You know, you got to take a cue from Jews, man. They're awesome that way. Seriously. So, I thought I would give you the speech. I thought I would stick around at City Hall in downtown if I'm here. I mean, I live like an hour and a half away by transit, right? So I might as well enjoy the day here. I love it downtown. I walk around babbling away. Nobody gives a shit, man, because I ain't fucking like, I swear once in a while, and that sets these poor, what is it? What is it? What's the word? You know, those sensibilities. It upsets their sensibilities, right? But I'll just stand in line here behind this, in back of this good man. So basically, love of the world is, you know what it is. It's bad stuff that you think, right? If you're thinking negative thoughts, or if you're greedy for something, anything, it's essentially something like this. This beautiful lady on this movie about The Secret, I think it was, or one of these new age things that actually make a lot of sense. She said simply 3 words: follow your bliss. And yeah, so anything that doesn't make you feel nice inside is not good for you. It's really, really, really that simple. But then it becomes pretty obscure because there are those dark times where it's like St. John of the Cross. You should look that stuff up and download the audiobook and listen to it. St. John of the Cross talks about the dark night of the soul, which is that black, bleak, abysmal times, day, weeks, hours, minutes that are just so repugnant in terms of you physically feel like you're getting sucked into a vortex of just meaninglessness. It's really horrible what happens. I mean, it's like basically what he says is it's like this example, let's say, or the simile or what have you of a mom suckling a baby. One day she has to put the baby on the ground so it learns to walk, and the baby is like, what the fuck's going on here? This sucks. I mean, it doesn't suck obviously at that point if you get the pun, but and he's cursing in himself and he's like, goddamn mom and this and that. But you see, the thing is this, if he stayed in her lap the whole time, then he'd be done for. What happened to him? And so therefore God has to let us loose in the world and to our own defenses. And that's how you grow stronger. All right, the library's open. I'm not going to shut up. Otherwise these guys are going to call security again. See you later, viewers. Thank you.